Well, mate, let's talk about Williams next. Nico Rosberg and Kazuki Nakajima.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised. You know, they've been sort of the dark horses of the season this year. You know, they're sort of getting some points every now and then. Nico's obviously doing very well. He's outclassed Kazuki.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with Williams. I mean, when you think back, they started the year or the season with a podium finish in Australia, with Nico getting third position. Very erratic ever since. I think I've been very disappointed with them this year. Nico's made the odd error, and they're just not on the pace. I mean, they show the odd glimpses here and there of their potential, but just not consistent enough for mine. And Kazuki Nakajima, solid driver, not a quick one in my opinion.
And not a regular point scorer either. You just can't rely that he's going to be there when there's valuable points to be had.
Yeah, I know Nico Rosberg's better than this, but I mean, he's driving with the machinery that he's been given, no doubt about it. But I just expect a little bit more from Williams this year, and I'm pretty disappointed with where they're at.
Yeah, more disappointment for Williams. I agree, mate. It's very disappointing. It continues, you know, from when Mark Webber was there. They had their worst ever season, and it's continuing. So I really hope they can turn it around.
So do I. Come on, 2009.
Yeah, mate. They are beating Renault. Renault's the next one on the list, and to say that Flavio must be disappointed is an understatement. Although you know, he did get married recently to that hottie.
Oh yeah.
So he wouldn't be disappointed about that.
But, definitely not.
But the performance of the team's been terrible, and Alonso, I mean, he just must be wondering about what he can do next, because unless that Renault gets serious pace quickly, he's going to be jumping ship. And Piquet Jr., we've said in many episodes before, has not delivered. Recently he's redeemed himself a little bit, which is great. But they've been so disappointing this year, Renault. I hope they pick it up.
Yeah, totally agree, and they wouldn't like being behind Toyota at the moment either. I think, well, in my opinion, I should say, I can't help but feel that Fernando Alonso, in a lot of cases, is overdriving the Renault to try and take care of its foibles, I guess. It just looks to me as though he's trying almost too hard.
He seems to be cooking it on a few corners, and also just
he's pretty
having
skittish.
the odd off.
Yeah, exactly. Because
More than you'd expect from a double world champion.
Yeah, for sure. But I think he's overdriving it, because he's trying to get there as much as he can, wring as much as he can out of that car, and it's just not. Look, it's a big improvement on the 07 car, no doubt about that. But it's still just not quick enough, and it's not to his liking. So unfortunately, another wasted year for Renault. As he said, Piquet Jr. Look, it was good to see him get a couple of points at Magny-Cours. That was terrific, and it'll be great for his confidence. But he's just had an atrocious first year in Formula One, mate, by any stretch.
Yeah, he has, and frankly, mate, I don't see them turning it around. I expect exactly the same from the second half of the season. Maybe a slight improvement, but I can't see them doing.
I think there will be an improvement, but I'm more concerned about PK. I mean, effectively, Renault have got a team where, yeah, okay, so we got 2 points the other day, but he's not going to contribute too many more points, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. All right, Max, let's move on to Honda, the next one. Jensen is still struggling. Rubens is at the end of his career. They've got a pretty shit package, and it's not delivering again this year. And mate, I just can't see any improvement there at all. They're really backmarkers, and Ross Brawn's made some headway, but God, what a terrible package at the moment. It must be terrible for Jensen.
2 bad seasons, just like Renault are having. You know, it's a sad day that Honda are languishing down the back of the grid.
Yeah,
that car just doesn't work properly. It's just not quick enough. I think it would be fairly obvious to all that they're working on the 09 car now, because they simply have to. This it was born bad, not as bad as the 07 car, but bad enough. And you've got 2 quality drivers languishing down the back of the grid in a car in a team that's extremely well funded, but just isn't functional. And I hope that Ross Brawn's influence, as I'm sure it will permeate through Honda over the next year or so.
I agree, mate. And you know, with Barrichello, you know, he's at the
look. It's time to go.
Well, he's at the end of his career, and he's a race winner. He's experienced that before, so I reckon he's just happy, you know, with his Honda seat. I really feel sorry for Jensen because that guy's under so much pressure, and Lewis is now the star child, and Jensen's nowhere in this Honda, and I really feel sorry for him, and I hope that, like you said, mate, that Ross Brawn can turn it around. Because that package is just not delivering for Jensen.
Button's being wasted there.
Yeah, he is
for the last couple of seasons, and it's a shame.
Yeah, Barrichello will get to finish his career there, but Jensen's still got so much more to give, and you know, he hasn't got the tools.
Yeah, well, hopefully 09, mate, when the regulation changes come about, that we'll start to see Jensen moving up and Ross Brawn's influence, you know, showing some fruit.
Yep, couldn't agree more, mate. All right, Toro Rosso, next one. Toro Rosso,
the two Sebs.
Yep. The two Sebs. Bourdais, you know, he's been a bit casual lately. He's been saying he doesn't really think that he's had the best start to his Formula One career, and he doesn't really care, Max.
Translated, that means I've had a shit start.
And he doesn't care either way, you know, the way that he's perceived or what he's going to deliver.
Gee, he wouldn't be a French Canadian, would he? Just like Jacques Villeneuve, who didn't give a shit either.
Yeah, he's basically said, well, what will come, but I'm doing the best I can, and I think that's fair enough. But Vettel's been really the star, and all this with banter about him taking the next step in his career. Toro Rosso, you know, they're doing okay.
They've got the STR3 now, so they've got this season's car after starting with last season's car. Yeah, I think Bourdais won't last in Formula One very long. I don't know what his contract is, but this could very well be his first and last year in Formula One. I'm not quite sure. Seb Vettel, I mean, all the talk is about him going to Red Bull. With DC leaving, I think that's a given. We all know that. But the young German has done quite well.
Yeah.
In his first season, he's showed some maturity, except for last season when he smashed the hell out of Webber's car. But he's shown some maturity, and he's driving quick, and I think he deserves his Red Bull drive.
All right, mate. Let's talk about Force India. The next one down.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Sorry.
No good.
Let's talk about Fisichella. How much more has he got left in him? Is he going to retire this year?
No.
Oh, I hope so.
Surely this is it. And Pep and I used to be big fans of Fizzy and all that sort of thing. Solid, consistent driver. But look, I think it's time to go now. Whether you're driving a car with a Ferrari engine in the back of it or not is irrelevant. I think your time's up. Fizzy.
Yeah, especially with DC retiring. I was thinking about some of the elder statesmen, Max, of Formula One, and Fizzy is definitely one of those guys who it's time to go. So, and we've got Sutil as his teammate, and you know, VJ must be a little bit disappointed, not only with the obvious accident where they lost all those points, but just with the season as a whole. I think they've improved on Spiker, what Spiker did, and they've got big plans, but whether they achieve those plans, I don't know, but I certainly don't expect much more in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Fizzy's doing the best he can in inferior machinery, right? He's a guy who used to be at large teams like Renault with, you know, terrific funding a lot. He goes to the back of the grid. So he's doing what he can do, and then you've got Sutil, who really hasn't done too much, in my opinion. He's, you know, shown the odd race that he's fairly quick and all that sort of thing, but just not consistent as well. And another disappointing team in my opinion.
Yeah, nice motorhome, but not very quick on the circuit.
Well, let's hope they can get it together in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, I hope so. Alright guys, as ever, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Catch you. Bye.
Okay, bye.